Hello and welcome to Palm Springs Stadium. George Hathaway alongside with my broadcast partner, Evan Schmeiser. As it's the top of the second inning, we're sorry for the technical difficulties to start things off as the Power hosts Southern Nevada. Power coming in the ballgame 8-2 on the season. So they're looking to make it 8 games in a row, Evan, and they're up 2-0 early on.
Absolutely right. We just had a ringing 2 RBI single from Emmanuel Dean, plating Torrey Sweet left the game with a hit in Isaiah Alvarez, who walked. Both guys taking advantage of a wild pitch in the first inning. And one of our favorite guys back on the mound, fresh off, about a week off of 6 innings, no runs, 14 strikeouts. Brett Finnell back on the mound. He just worked a 1-2-3 top of the first.
Already has 1 strikeout under his belt as well. Ethan Stevens, he's going to be at the plate to lead things off. The lefty.
Big lanky 6'4" lefty too.
1-0 count for Stevens. It's a pitch there from Finnell down low. From Central Arizona. The 1-0 from Finnell. Going to be fouled back behind the plate. 1-1 now the count. Finnell starting things off on the bump for Palm Springs today. Has 29 strikeouts, with that strikeout over to Casey Bonjacek.
And we're already seeing with Finnell, he's working his forcing fastball nicely on the upper part of the plate, especially, and he's doing well on the outside corner, changing speeds nicely.
2-1 the count for Stevens, with Dominic Tavares on deck. As that's going to go right inside. 2-2 now the count for Stevens.
And Finnell's already looking, he already looks like he's picking up where he left off just a week ago, sitting in the hot 88 to 90 on his fastball, and featuring the curveball too. 76, 77. Wonderful also to see a changeup. We've seen 1 changeup so far to the lefty Stevens. That came in at 86 miles an hour.
Palm Springs Power, they're up 2-0 here, top of the second inning. Here's a full count pitch. That's going to be down low and getting away from Joey Mazzetti, who's behind the plate. First walk of the evening for Brett Finnell.
Interesting pitch selection. He went with a curveball at the 2-2 count. He went with another breaking ball, 3-2. He definitely liked the confidence, but interesting pitch choice nonetheless, especially leading off the inning and when he was working that fastball really, really well to get ahead.
Tavares, the second baseman, going to be stepping into the batter's box now for Southern Nevada. They're on their red on gray uniforms with blue letters. As that's going to be popped up into the air, fouled off. And the Power, they're in their white on white uniforms with red caps.
I tell you, George, that'd be a terribly confusing game if both teams are wearing red. Absolute nightmare to try to broadcast that one.
0-1 is the count to Dominic Tavares. Power up 2-0 the ball game, shows signs of bunting. His fastball going to be down low, 1-1.
This might be the first time all season, George, I've seen either the Power or the opposition show bunt in a game.
With 1 runner on, no outs here, top of the second inning. Here's a 1-1 from Finnell. That's going to get bouncing in the dirt away from Mazzetti. Stevens going to advance off the wild pitch there. 2-1 is the count now.
Yeah, Brett Finnell's mostly had really good control. Excellent in the first inning. You saw the walk just now, and that fastball just got away a little bit. Just ended up spiking it in the left-handed batter's box.
So that puts Stevens now in scoring position on second. Here's a 2-1. Way inside. 3-1 is the count for Tavares as he had to scoot back from that pitch that was inside.
And George, just the last couple of deliveries almost looks like Finnell isn't quite finding his proper balance point. Both those release points just looked different. When you're a pitcher, you want the release point to come at the exact same spot.
It's going to be a full count now for Tavares. He thought it was going to be ball number 4. Hit the inside of the strike zone. Painting the corners there, Brett Finnell.
This is a big pitch right here. Last thing you want to do is walk the first 2 batters after your team puts up 2 runs.
Full count going to be chopped up over to the glove of Becky at short. The throw on the hop. It's in time for the first out. Which brings up Parker Vint to the plate. Designated hitter. Incoming freshman at Arizona Western.
You know, George, that's a big out right there. Getting the ground ball to the left side of the infield. Stevens not able to advance on the play. And how about that new guy, Evan Berkey? Ball just seems to find him.
Stevens, he's on second in scoring position. As a breaking ball there, swing and a miss.
That's a nasty breaking ball to say the least. Really, really late movement. Just disappeared down and out of the strike zone.
Gavin Manzel on deck. Here's the 0-1 from Finnell. Down in the dirt. Mazzetti able to keep the ball in front of him.
As we can see, Joey Mazzetti can do it all. Been the designated hitter most of the season. We've seen him come out of the bullpen a handful of times. Played third base a week ago, now behind the plate.
Here's a 1-1 from Finnell. Going to be up high and inside. 2-1 the count. Chin music there from Brett Finnell.
Yeah, just still struggling with that release point. The past few pitches, especially get the ground ball over the short. Finnell did a nice job on those pitches. Just trying to settle back in after really a perfect first inning.
Here's a 2-1 from Finnell. Breaking ball in the dirt. 3-1 is the count. Beautiful evening here in Palm Springs, California. Sun slowly starting to set behind us here at the stadium.
It really is a cool thing to still see the sun shining on the canyons out in the distance, but seeing all the shade here. Fans appreciate the shade too.
Here's a 3-1, way inside, ball number 4. This will be the second walk this inning for Brett Finnell. Puts 2 runners on now for Southern Nevada. As it's going to be Gavin Manzel, the righty from Southern Nevada. Stands at 5'7".
You know, George, just taking a look at the roster, everyone except one player on the depth chart is from Vegas. Or, excuse me, from Nevada. A lot of young men from Vegas, though, on this squad.
1-0 is the count for the right fielder, Gavin Manzel. With 1 out, 2 runners on. Palm Springs Power up 2-0 here, top of the second. Pitch going to get inside, 1-1.
And Finnell just needs to keep in mind, 1 out, runners on first and second. Just one pitch from getting out of this inning, trying to record this shutdown second inning after the Power put up 2 runs.
Going to foul that one back. 1-2 is the count. Good sized crowd here in attendance at Palm Springs Stadium here to watch the Power take on Southern Nevada.
Yeah, I saw a big family earlier, George. It looked to be 6 or 7 kids, might have been some cousins in there. Just dead sprint right to the bounce house as soon as they saw it.
1-2 is going to be fouled back. So it's going to still stay 1-2 with 1 out, 2 runners on. Stevens is on second and Vint on first for Southern Nevada.
Yeah, this is a big at bat right here, especially getting ahead 1-2 in the count after walking 2 batters this inning. This is an out you want to get.
1-2 breaking ball. Manzel goes down swinging. It's going to be the second strikeout for Brett Finnell of the ball game, which brings up Jason Schaff to the plate, the righty.
And that's a big out right there. We got to see it in that at bat. Finnell was able to locate his fastball once again, and that was a tremendous breaking ball that started in the strike zone and went right to the outside part of the plate along the knees. No chance on that pitch from Manzel.
Schaff going to be over at shortstop for Southern Nevada this evening. Here's a pitch from Finnell. Breaking ball going to get inside, strike 1.
And a few familiar and a few new faces for the Power out there in the field. Nelson Padilla back out at second base. Mentioned his name a moment ago, Evan Berkey out at shortstop.
Pitch down in the dirt, 1-1 is the count. with 2 outs here in the top of the second inning where the Power have a 2-0 lead.
Also, summing up the breeze right now, George, is going left to right, but coming in just enough where we're getting some of the misters.
Schaff from Southern Nevada. That pitch going to get inside 1-2 is the count. Two outs, 2 runners on here, top of the second inning. Stevens on second, Vint on first. Both of those guys were walked in this inning. Finnell also has 1 strikeout as well, 1-2, looking to make it strikeout number 3 on the evening. With 2 outs, Power looking to retire the side. As that pitch going to be down and away, 2-2 the count for Jason Schaff, the shortstop.
And Brett Finnell's mindset in this next pitch should just be try to slow down his delivery. He came to his balance point right there, lifting his leg, and just rushed a little too much. And that just puts you off balance for the rest of your delivery, and that's why we saw another fastball out in the left-handed batter's box.
2-2. To be foul tipped and caught. That's going to go down as a strikeout there for Brett Finnell. As going to leave 2 runners on base. We go to the bottom of the second inning. It's going to be Anthony Angel Jr., Nelson Padilla, and Torrey Sweet. The 3 due up next when we return. Welcome back. Bottom of the second inning. Power are up 2-0 here in the ball game. It's going to be the 8, the 9, and the 1. The 3 due up next. Anthony Angel Jr. leading things off here. The bottom of the second inning. As the Power have a commanding 2-0 lead. Looking to add more on top of that here. With Reilly, here's a pitch, sidearm. Going to be outside 1-0 the count for the lefty. As that's going to be swing and a miss there for Anthony Angel Jr. 1-1 is the count. Austin Reilly, he's on the hill from Southern Nevada. Here's a 1-1. That's going to get inside. 1-2 now the count for him.
Hopefully the Power hitters can recognize this. He just located a good change on the outer half of the plate from the left-handed pitcher, and a fastball on the inner half. The first inning he struggled mightily, missing way inside to the right-handed batters.
He popped up into the air fouled back behind us. Still 1-2 the count. Nelson Padilla, he's on deck for Palm Springs. Anthony Angel Jr. over on third base. Did he go? And yes, he did. The check swing there. Second strikeout for Austin Reilly on the evening.
And once again, the power hitters need to pick up on this. Austin Reilly more than happy to pitch inside, especially his right-handed batters. Went back with a breaking ball, just a bit off the inside part of the plate, getting the swing through on the check swing.
Padilla, he's at the plate. 1-0 the count for him. He's batting in the 9 hole this evening. The breaking ball down low. 2-0 the count for Padilla. Good eye there from him with Torrey Sweet, the leadoff man, on deck.
This is something that Power did a great job in the first inning, taking advantage of working ahead in the count against the pitcher Austin Reilly. So look for one pitch in one spot and get a good swing at it.
As that's going to get inside. 2-1 the count with 1 out.
And give Reilly credit. He went with a breaking ball, 2-0, located well, right at the bottom of the strike zone. Good take there from Padilla, not the pitch he wanted.
Here's a 2-1 upstairs. Hitters count now for Padilla, 3-1.
And gotta go with that same approach here with a 3-1 count as he did with a 2-0 count. Maybe think about even sitting on a breaking ball. You just saw it on the 2-0 count. If you're sitting on the breaking ball and you get it, then it's a really hittable pitch.
Here's a 3-1. Gonna be down low. Ball number 4. Padilla taking his free base there. It's the second walk for Austin Reilly. With 1 out, brings us to Torrey Sweet. Second time we're going to see him today. He had a base hit and scored a run in the bottom of the first inning.
And that single from Sweet, absolute rocket out to center field. Even just a few games played so far, he's hit just some missiles out to the outfield.
Pitch from Austin Reilly upstairs, 1-0 the count.
And already seeing just an inning and a third of work, Reilly having quite a bit of trouble locating his pitches consistently. He did walk 4 batters while pitching 3 1/3 innings this past season for Southern Nevada.
1-1 the count as the pitch got right in the top of the strike zone there for Torrey Sweet. He's over in center field this evening for Palm Springs as they have a 2-0 lead here, bottom of the second inning. Here's a 1-1 from Reilly. Outside, 2-1.
And he's nibbling. So right now sitting about 83 to 85 on his fastball and featuring a slider. He's on a 74 to 76 miles per hour. Have not seen a changeup so far. I thought I saw a few changes, to be honest, but apparently not.
Padilla over on first is going down to his knee. Torrey Sweet. 2-2 the count with Isaiah Alvarez on deck.
That was a really nasty breaking ball there. Down and in towards the back foot of the right-handed batter. I mean, if Reilly can locate his pitches, his pitches have life.
Austin Reilly looks back over on first as that's going to be now a full count as that was out and away. Stevens had to extend to grab the ball there, cross body.
And a 3-2 count right here. Wonder if we'll see Padilla take off. He did not steal a base this past season for San Jose State.
Full count. Here's a pitch from Reilly downstairs and away. Ball number 4. Back-to-back walks here with 1 out. Advances Padilla over to second in scoring position as a power up 2-0 here. Isaiah Alvarez stepping up.
This is a bit of a danger zone right here for Austin Reilly. Already the third man he's walked so far in just an inning and a third of work. Walks were an issue during his collegiate regular season. And especially in the middle of this power order coming out, but Alvarez up now, Noah Blythe on deck, and Emmanuel Dean. It could be a format for a big inning for the power.
Alvarez looking for his third RBI on the season. 0-1's the count. He was walked in the first inning and scored the second run for Palm Springs. Two runners on for the Power. Reilly looks back and delivers. Slider getting inside. 0-2 count now for Alvarez.
You know, George, it's got to be absolutely frustrating as a hitter. Back-to-back walks, it's to the two guys preceding you, and then he locates a good fastball in the inner half, and then the breaking ball to paint the outside corner. That used to infuriate me when I used to play.
1 out, 2 runners on. Reilly delivers the slider there underneath the bat of Alvarez for the third strikeout. 2 outs now for the Power, which brings up the first baseman, Noah Blythe. He lined out in the first inning to Tavares.
Noah Blythe comes into this game hitting .476 this season. Walked his first time up. Leads the team in hitting.
20 hits and 19 runs for the first baseman this season. Also has 8 RBIs. Looking for number 9 today with this at-bat. It's a pitch there from Reilly upstairs in the strike zone, 0-1.
And so far, and Reilly's actually been in the strike zone. He's been throwing to both sides of the plate, inside and outside, with the fastball and the slider. Like I said, if he stays in the strike zone at least enough and can work ahead, it can be a bit of a tough night for the power hitters.
Bottom of the second inning, Power up 2-0 in the ball game. Have 3 hits. And that's going to be breaking ball in the dirt. Good eye there from Blythe. 1-1 is the count. It's 0-1 in the ball game. Base hit here would bring in a run. As that's Padilla over on second, Torrey Sweet on first. Both of those batters walked here in the bottom of the second inning with Blythe at the dish.
Yeah, as you mentioned, George, really good take there from Noah Blythe on the breaking ball down. He hasn't walked that often, but also not like someone to chase.
Gonna rip that up the middle. And the throw from Schaff over to Katschke is in time. As that's going to retire the inning, leaving 2 runners on. Power still lead 2-0. As Sam Lucas, Carl McClough, and Casey Bonchak, the 3 due up next for Southern Nevada when we return. Welcome back. George Hathaway alongside Evan Schmeiser here on the call. Power are up 2-0 here in the top of the third inning. Sam Lucas, a 9-hole hitter, going to lead things off for Southern Nevada from Mesa Community College. Here's a pitch from Finnell. Fastball hits the bottom of the strike zone. 0-1 the count. foul tip there. 0-2.
This
Quickly.
this is an excellent sign so far, George. Getting ahead just like that, especially to the 9th man in the order.
Here's the 0-2 pitch from Finnell. That's going to get him looking for strike 3. Outside of the strike zone. Be the 4th strikeout for Brett Finnell. Here in the top of the 3rd inning, brings us to the top of the order. Carl McAuliffe. He's at the plate for the 2nd time here in the ballgame. He's 0 for 1, flew out to Torrey Sweet. Here's a pitch from Finnell. Shows signs of bunting, breaking ball, 1-0. Casey Bochenzak. He's on deck.
It's our beer batter tonight, too. Struck out his first time up.
1-0, gonna get inside for the 1-1 count. 1 out, nobody on.
So at least in the first inning, fans were treated to 10 consecutive minutes of draft beer with $2.
Pitch gonna get away from Joey Mazzetti behind the plate. 2-1 the count for Carl McAuliffe. He's over in center field for Southern Nevada. Top of the 3rd inning. He's going to hit that one up in the glove of Berkeley. And that's going to get right by him. Going to hit off the glove. Yes.
And the beer bat's coming up, George.
Casey Bochenzak. He's going to be at the plate. One out, 1 runner on here for Southern Nevada. Top of the 3rd inning.
That play will officially go down as E6, allowing Carl McCullough to reach base. So first error of the night for the Power.
0-1 the count for Casey Bochenzak.
You know, George, when the announcement was first made that Bochenzak would be the beer batter for tonight, the Southern Nevada dugout just started laughing like crazy. Never know what the reaction will be when they hear about the beer batter. Sometimes people can be a little upset. Most of the time, it's all smiles and laughs. I think you'd feel if you were the beer batter for a night, George.
Feel eager to get a hit. As it's a 1-1 count with 1 out, 1 runner on for Southern Nevada. That's going to get inside. 1-2 the count with 1 out. Bochenzak struck out his first at bat. He's now down in the count 1-2.
I think if I were the beer batter, I'd be a little annoyed at first, but then if I actually struck out, I'd get a good laugh eventually.
1-2 the count for Casey Bochenzak, the 3rd baseman for Southern Nevada. Hunter Katschke, he's on deck. Here's a 1-2. Mazzetti, the throw. It's in time.
Wow, what a throw.
He didn't have to get up from that at all. Joey Mazzetti stayed in the same position he was and threw it from there. It's going to be a 2-2 count for Bochenzak. With 2 outs now, nobody on. Power up 2-0 here, top of the 3rd.
What a message to send early, to say the least. Carl McCullough picked a pretty good pitch to run on 2. He had a decent jump, picked a breaking ball. Mazzetti just threw a missile from one knee.
Finnell delivers a 2-2. That's going to be chopped foul. As Bochenzak staying alive for another pitch.
That's a great way to pick up your teammate, too. Evan Berkey made the tough error trying on the backhand towards the hole and shortstop, but then just to erase that runner, it makes your teammate feel so much better. He can take a deep breath and relax a little.
Here's a 2-2 from Finnell. Going to be ripped right up over in the right field. Over to Dean. As that's going to be a base hit there for Casey Bochenzak.
You know, George, I don't think Emmanuel Dean did not have a throw to first base on his mind. I think he had a play there. And Noah Blythe was covering first base, expecting a throw.
Hunter Katschke, he's at the plate. Grounded out from Berkey to Blythe. 2 outs, 1 runner on for Southern Nevada. They're down 2 runs here, top of the 3rd inning. Katschke, the first baseman for Southern Nevada. pitch from Finnell going to be inside. 0-1 the count.
This
Two
inning
outs.
looks a lot different too, especially with the caught stealing. It could have possibly been first and third after that last single.
Way inside, 1-1 the count. Coming up for Hunter Katchke. Brett Finnell, he's on the hill right now for Palm Springs. Has recorded 4 strikeouts, allowed 1 hit. And it's a breaking ball. Katchke gonna swing at that one.
And it's good to see Brett Finnell. He's got that breaking ball back this inning. That one, once again, just disappeared down out of the strike zone. And a nice job by Mazzetti blocking that one on a hop.
Chanzak over at first, breaking ball. Going to get Katchke looking. Strikeout number 5 for Brett Finnell on the evenings. Allowed 1 hit here in the ball game. When we return, it's going to be Emmanuel Dean, Evan Berkey, and Joey Mazzetti. The 3 due up next for the Palm Springs Power. They're up 2-0 when we return. Welcome back to Palm Springs Stadium. George Hathaway alongside with me, my broadcast partner, Evan Schmeiser. As the Palm Springs Power up 2-0 here as we're in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Emmanuel Dean leading things off for Palm Springs. He's over in right field this evening. First time we saw him, he got a base hit. One of the 3 base hits here for the Powers. That pitch there from Reilly way outside. Stevens just got the tip of the glove there, went away from him. 1-0 the count.
And that 2 RBI single from Emmanuel Dean the first inning came off the bat 96 miles per hour as he ripped it down the left field line.
1 out. Going to be chopped right over. Bojanczak, the throw over. It's in time. To Katchke for the first out. Write that one down. It's 5-3 in the books for those keeping score at home. Evan Berkey got on base in the bottom of the 1st inning through fielder's choice. Here we are seeing him again, bottom of the 3rd inning.
Evan Berkey trying to get on the crowd's good side, coming up with that first hit of his power career.
0-1 the count here for Berkey, with Austin Reilly still on the mound, the lefty. And it's going to be quickly 0-2 for Berkey here, as Austin Reilly is sidearm. With Joey Mazzetti on deck with one out, 0-2 count. Reilly delivers. That's going to get through for a base hit right in between the gap. Evan Berkey recording his first base hit for Palm Springs, which now brings up Joey Mazzetti. He's 1 for 1 on the day, has a base hit.
And you know, George, sometimes pitches are really funny. 2 pitches in a row, Reilly threw to Evan Berkey. Excellent pitches, not hittable out of the strike zone, getting swings. Then immediately after getting a swing through on a breaking ball down low, he went with a breaking ball, and it just was right in the middle of the plate. Berkey did a nice job keeping his hands back and hitting it through the left side.
1 out, 1 runner on Berkey. He's on first. This pitch there from Reilly upstairs to Mazzetti, 1-0. Joey Mazzetti, the catcher, this afternoon, and he leads the team with 15 RBIs, and the next person is Noah Blythe, who has 8. Not even close. 2-0 count for Mazzetti.
This is a dangerous count right here for Austin Reilly. Last thing he wants to do is give Mazzetti a fastball out and away from in the middle of the plate. That's probably what he's looking for.
2-0, Reilly delivers. Going to be swung on and missed. 2-1 for Mazzetti. He has a base hit already in the ball game with Berkey on first. Single there from Evan Berkey just a moment ago. 87 miles per hour off the bat. That hit in between the gap on the ground. 2-1's the count. Down and away, make it 3-1.
That's impressive to me. That ball came off at 87 miles per hour. Berkey was a bit out in front of that pitch. Guess it goes to show. Strong young man out there.
3-1 is the count with 1 out, 1 runner on for Palm Springs here. Bottom of the 3rd inning, they're up 2-0. Austin Reilly on the hill. Here's a pitch. And Berkey is going to go to second. He's going to steal, but it was ball number 4 anyway, so Mazzetti going to get his free base. As he's on base for the second time this ball game. Runners on first and second for the Power, which brings us to Brock Mortensen.
This is the 3rd consecutive inning the Power have put men on first and second with 1 out. They came up big in the first inning with the hit by Emmanuel Dean, taking advantage of a wild pitch too. Not able to do anything with back-to-back walks in the second inning to put men on first and second.
He struck out in his first plate appearance. This is a season debut for the Palm Springs Power as well. As just like Evan Berkey, he's trying to record his first hit of the season. With 1 out, 2 runners on, Berkey in scoring position on second for Palm Springs. They have a 2-0 lead. Breaking ball swung on and missed. 0-1 count for Brock Mortensen.
And I wonder what that pitch was. It looked like a fastball, but then it was just darting down and in to the lefty Brock Mortensen. That's not a comfortable pitch to see if you're a left-handed hitter.
Lefty against lefty. Reilly looks back on second. Here's the 0-1. That's going to be hit up over Tavares. Chance for a double play. And they're able to convert it to retire the inning. 4-6-3 double play. Going to retire the side, leaving 2 runners on for the Power. Top of the 4th inning. Due up next when we return.
Top of the fourth inning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Evan Schmeiser, joined by George Hathaway, Ethan Stevens, Dominic Tavares, Parker Vint, 4, 5, 6. They're the three scheduled hitters due up for Southern Nevada. And it's Hispanic Heritage Night here in Palm Springs Stadium. My good friend George Hathaway, he's loving the music.
Love it.
Makes me very happy to see it.
Makes me want to dance.
Hey, there we go. That's part of the point too. Feels like I'm back in San Antonio. That's where I lived for the past year. Especially on the Riverwalk. Beautiful out there. All sorts of good mariachi music playing and some good people drinking margaritas. That ball's out to second base. Nelson Padilla up with it over the first. And 2 pitches, 1 quick out in the top of the fourth for Brett Finnell, who's back out for his 4th inning of work. That'll bring up Dominic Tavares. He grounded out to shortstop his first time up. Out to the new guy, Evan Berkey. Making his first appearance, first start for the Palm Springs Power. Finnell delivers a breaking ball in the dirt, ball 1. Excellent command in the 3rd inning from Finnell, working allowing just the base hit. Getting a couple strikeouts. So far, 5 strikeouts on the night for Brett Finnell. Scouted a couple walks in the 2nd, able to work out of that jam, and just the 1 hit for Southern Nevada. Falls behind 2-0 here. To the second baseman, Tavares. Tavares out of Umpqua Community College. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Oh, that ball got Tavares right on the ribs. Nowhere for him to go. That looked to be a fastball too. And Finnell's been about 88 to 90 on his fastball tonight. So a 1-out base runner for Southern Nevada. First hit by pitch issued by Finnell. He did issue 1 hit by pitch in his last start a week ago. No walks in that 6-inning shutout appearance. And it looks like our athletic trainer Trevor's just going to go out to check on Tavares. Not fun getting hit in the ribs, George.
I could only imagine. As Brett Finnell, he's adding on with 33 strikeouts on the season. That currently leads the team in strikeouts. As he's looking to build on top of that here against Southern Nevada. One of the strong pitchers for the Palm Springs Powers. There's many of them as well. As this bullpen runs very deep here in Palm Springs.
Can't say that enough. The bullpen's won more than their share of games for the Power, especially after the starting pitcher might have gotten roughed up and hit around just a little bit. As far as the strikeouts are concerned, George, I have a good feeling that Carson Phillips will eventually have something to say about that.
Yeah, he has 30 on the season, so those guys are neck and neck when it comes to strikeouts. And then Evan Shaw, he's up there too with 22 strikeouts. CJ Broussard has 13. Joey Mazzetti has 17, so a plethora of Palm Springs Power pitchers in double digits when it comes to strikeouts.
It's also been really good to see. Brett Finnell seems like he's working very well with Mazzetti behind the plate. First time Mazzetti's caught all year, so obviously first time maybe catching Finnell. And going to second on the wild pitch will be Tavares. So I guess he's fine. Good to see, of course. That was a breaking ball swung through by Parker Vint. Just getting away far enough from Mazzetti to allow the runner to advance. So first wild pitch of the night for Finnell. That puts a man on second base with 1 out, with Parker Vint coming up. Vint walked his first time in the 2nd. Good fastball down and in, strike 2. After hitting the last batter, Finnell able to work ahead 0-2.
That's what you want to see, is a bounce back like that. 2 very solid pitches from Brett Finnell.
Finnell set, here's the 0-2. Breaking ball, swung on and missed. Down on 3 pitches goes Parker Vint, 6 strikeout already for Finnell. And 2 outs. So that'll bring up Gavin Manzel, the right fielder. He struck out his first time up in the 2nd. Southern Nevada looking to try and cut this lead in half for the Power. Power lead 2-0 He scored 2 big runs in the first inning off the 2-run single by Emmanuel Dean. They've mostly been quiet since then. 4 hits overall on the night for the Power, just 1 hit for Southern Nevada.
4 straight strikes for Brett Finnell.
0-2 the count. Finnell trying to work out the second straight jam with a runner in scoring position. He stranded a couple runners in the second inning. Trying to do the same thing here in the fourth. Here's the 0-2. Breaking ball way out in front, swung on and missed. Back-to-back strikeouts for Finnell. Back-to-back 3-pitch strikeouts for Brett Finnell. That's strikeout number 7 on the night. We'll go to the bottom of the fourth, ladies and gentlemen. Angel, Padilla, and Sweet will get things started. To the bottom of the fourth we go. Power trying to extend its 2-0 lead. Anthony Angel Jr. will try and get things started. He struck out his first time up in the second. Power have been quiet the last couple innings since putting up those early 2 runs, taking advantage of a base hit, a walk, and then a wild pitch from Austin Reilly, who's, frankly, he's been tough when he's around the strike zone as that misses way outside. Reminds me a little bit of Jonathan Sanchez, longtime pitcher for the San Francisco Giants. Seemed like he was very effectively wild, as you would call it. Tries a breaking ball there way outside 2-0.
3 strikeouts on the day for Austin Reilly. He's also allowed 4 hits on top of that as well.
Big swing and a miss, 2-1. Looked to be a fastball, just kept tailing down and away out of the strike zone.
All 3 of those pitches relatively in that outside down corner of the strike zone. Very similar.
What's made him tough, too, is he's more than willing to go inside. He misses outside again, 3-1. Fastball's been sitting about 81 to 84, and that slider 72, at 75 miles per hour. So 3-1 the count to Anthony Angel Jr., trying to get on base. And he's able to do just that, and misses outside again, ball 4. 4th walk issued tonight. 5 walks issued so far for Austin Reilly, with nobody out here in the 4th inning.
And that's how the Power really started to get things going in the bottom of the 1st inning. It started off with a base hit from Torrey Sweet, then Alvarez walked, and those were the 2 runs for the Power. So as long as they're able to get on base, the runs are going to start producing.
And a wild pitch in there, too, allowed 2 men to be in scoring position to set up that Emmanuel Dean hit. Padilla walked his first time up in the second. He was stranded over at second base. He'll bat here, behind the count, 0-1, Anthony Angel Jr. over at second base, dealing with the lefty on the mound. Breaking ball out, all in the outside corner, 0-2. George, I think Reilly crossed up his catcher, Ethan Stevens. They're going to talk about right now.
Yeah, it's one of those communication things that you definitely have to have between pitcher and catcher. And as there was some miscommunication there between Reilly and Stevens on that last pitch. So just got away from the glove of Stevens. Still in the strike zone, just couldn't get a squeeze on it.
Sometimes it can be a lot tougher, too, to get the strike call when you're the catcher and you're moving as much as Stevens did, trying to adjust, not expecting the breaking ball, looking for a fastball.
We'll see if they figure things out here with this next pitch from Reilly.
I'll tell you, George, that'd be a big problem if Stevens gets crossed up again back-to-back pitches. He does not get crossed up as that sprayed foul out of play right side. So they're at least on the same page with their signs again.
Really good position here for Palm Springs with a 9-hole hitter, Nelson Padilla. 1 runner on already and no outs with the top of the order coming up in just a second. So this is going to be a very important inning for Palm Springs as they want to extend their 2-run lead here, give them a few more insurance runs, a more comfortable lead.
Absolutely, George. I saw a young man along the concourse do the Naruto run with the arms going behind his back. That was fun to see. Here's 0-2 to Padilla. That breaking ball just a little low, ball 1. Wonderful to see Anthony Angel Jr. take off from first. Just 1 stolen base so far this season. Haven't really seen many pickoff attempts from Austin Reilly. Here's the 1-2. Southern Nevada looking to turn 2 with nobody out. Swung on and missed. Padilla down on strikes. 1 out here in the 4th inning. Third strikeout. 4 strikeouts on the night for Austin Reilly. Somebody needs to learn how to count. I'll bring up Torrey Sweet. He singled to get things started in the 1st inning. Ripped the ball to center field his first time up. Walked in the 2nd, so he's 1 for 1.
Able to score a big run, too, for Palm Springs, coming in to score.
And there goes Angel Jr., and that's hit foul. Jr. got a great jump, but he'll have to go back nonetheless. You like seeing the aggression here, George?
I really do. Palm Springs, a team that's known for wanting to steal bases, and they're very successful at it as well.
Torrey Sweet now 4 for 12. This being the 4th game he's played in so far with the power. That single in the 1st inning. Here's the 0-1. Junior does not go. That's taken outside 1-1. Isaiah Alvarez waits on deck.
31 stolen bases from Palm Springs this season.
Here's the 1-1. Anthony Angel Jr. flinched towards second base that time. Didn't go.
It's going to keep Katchke on his toes over there at first base as he's going to be wanting to cover it a little bit more, especially with the lead that Anthony Angel Jr. has. About a 3-4 stride lead over on first.
Glad you mentioned that, George. It does look like a pretty good lead. That ball's ripped foul down the left field line, headed towards the bounce house. So 2-2 the count on Sweet. Torrey Sweet has only struck out 3 times so far this season. So far he's walked 4 times. So one of those few plays. No, it's a small sample size, but he's walked more often than he's struck out.
That just shows good plate discipline from Torrey Sweet. That's what you want to see from your leadoff hitter.
Gavin Manziel in right field playing very, very shallow. Carl McCullough in center also playing relatively shallow. A check on the runner. Angel Jr. gets back in there standing up. Not as big of a lead that time.
And especially since Austin Reilly, the left-handed pitcher, So we're going to be directly looking over at Anthony Angel Jr. at first, so he's going to have better vision of him.
Long set. Here's the 2-2. That pitch just missed. Might have been a little high. Looked like Torrey Sweet might have been looking breaking ball. That looked to catch him by surprise.
Again, great plate discipline from Torrey Sweet. A 50-50 ball that kind of painted the edge of the strike zone, still able to realize it was a little upstairs for him.
That 3-2 is swung on and missed. That fast just kept tailing to the outside part of the plate. So Sweet goes down swinging, second strikeout of the inning for Reilly, 6 of the game. So 2 outs in the 4th. So that'll bring out Isaiah Alvarez. Walked and scored in the first, struck out in the second. Wonderful to see Anthony Angel Jr. try and swipe second base here, especially with 2 outs. On the outside corner, strike 1. Reilly able to work ahead in the count again. Looks like the breeze has picked up just a little bit more going from left to right. Good looking lead there from Angel Jr. Long set from Reilly. There goes Jr. That's it, foul. Another excellent jump from Anthony Angel Jr., but second time this inning he has to go back on a foul ball.
Good contact, though, from Isaiah Alvarez. Swung at that a little early. As he just straightened it out a little bit, that will get through the gap.
Well, now we'll have to protect down to 0-2 in the count. 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th. Power lead 2-0 off of 2 early runs in the first. The 0-2, outside ball 1. Started that fast, just a little too far outside. Last fastball came in 85 miles per hour. That's the hardest pitch that Austin Reilly has thrown so far tonight. Here's the 1-2. Breaking ball just outside. Tried to run that breaking ball back over the outer half.
Stevens tried to frame that as well. Back into the strike zone a little bit. Did not fool anybody.
Didn't fool the umpire. That's what matters most. Count even 2-2. Here's the pitch. Down on strikes goes Alvarez. Austin Reilly has struck out the side here in the 4th on a good breaking ball. So no runs, no hits for the Power. They leave a man over at first base. We go to the top of the 5th. Power lead by 2. To the top of the 5th we go. Looks like we got a pitcher's duel on their hands. 8-9-1 coming up for Southern Nevada. Jason Schaff, Sam Lucas, Carl McCullough. George, I gotta say, outside of tougher first inning for Austin Reilly and a couple walks issued by Brett Finnell in the second, both starters have been tremendous.
It really has been an overall great pitching duel between both teams. Reilly has 6 strikeouts. Finnell, he has 7, so it's been very back and forth between these two pitchers. And you're absolutely right. You know, a little hiccup in the bottom of the first inning for Austin Reilly, but he's able to bounce back and pitch really well.
Both pitchers have been tough, especially when they've been able to command their pitches in the strike zone. Jason Schaff struck out swinging his first time up in the second, so he's 0 for 1. That ball's hit hard through the hole on the right side for a base hit. So a hard hit single will give Southern Nevada a base runner to start things off in the 5th. No chance for Noah Blythe or Nelson Padilla to try and corral that ball. That'll bring up Sam Lucas, the left fielder. He struck out looking his first time up in the 3rd. Full bat here against Brett Finnell in his 5th inning of work, with a man over at first base, trailing by 2. Power infield looking to turn 2, and check on the runner. Looked like Jason Schaff flinched towards second just a little bit.
Base running is going to be important in this ball game, as it's such a close game back and forth throughout, that anybody who can get in scoring position is going to help out their team.
Schaff does not go, and Lucas takes a breaking ball in the inner half, strike 1. Good looking breaking ball from Finnell, even the count of ball and 1 strike. Here's the 1-1. Breaking ball, swung on and missed, corralled nicely by the catcher Mazzetti. That breaking ball might have been more of a 58-footer. Mazzetti kept it in front of him, keeping Schaff over at first.
Absolutely amazing job from Joey Mazzetti. Once it kind of bounced off his chest plate, he was able to track it down, took off that catcher's mask quickly, and stared down Schaff over at first.
Joey Mazzetti does it all. Is that breaking ball on the inside corner for a called strike 3. Had to wait a moment to confirm it from the home plate umpire. 7th strikeout of the night for Brett Finnell. There's 1 out. So that brings up Carl McCullough. Lined out to center his first time up on a nice play by Torrey Sweet coming in. Reached on an error by the shortstop Evan Berkey and was caught stealing by Mazzetti. Joey Mazzetti does it all. And on deck is the beer batter, Casey Bochinchak. Bochinchak delighted the crowd in the first inning by striking out. Singled in the 3rd. That didn't make the fans too happy. 0-1 the count to McCullough. Power infield once again looking to turn 2 with the middle infielders pinched toward the second base bag. Nasty breaking ball in the dirt, swung on and missed. Another good block by Mazzetti. He's been a wall back there tonight.
He really has nothing getting by him, and if it does, he's able to track it down quickly. He has that speed to jump up off his feet. And we also saw him throw somebody out as well, and didn't even have to get up. So he has the strength behind the plate. That's what you want to see from a catcher.
He has an excellent arm, too, to say the least. That swung on and missed. That breaking ball might have hit the plate. Almost went over the screen. So 2 outs. 8th strikeout of the night for Finnell, 2nd of the inning. 2nd wild pitch he's delivered, allowing Schaff to move up to second base. Nothing Mazzetti could have done, frankly, on that one. So that brings up the beer batter, Casey Bochinchak. Struck out in the 1st, making the fans happy, singled in the 3rd. Wait a minute. We have a run? There's a runner on first base right now. Georgia, I could have sworn that Carl McCullough struck out. And if there's a runner on first base with less than 2 outs, then you're not allowed to run in the strikeout. I think now it took the power second. Now Blythe is saying something. Evan Berkey too. Now the umpires are going to come talk about it. There should only be a runner on second base, George, with 2 outs instead of 1 out.
Yeah, it was a drop 3rd strike. I think that's what the call was.
All right, the umpires get it right. You can't blame McCullough for running there. second. I think it was 2003 with the White Sox. I want to say it was Jim Thome took advantage of a drop third strike that wasn't actually dropped, that helped affect the outcome of the playoff series. Now the Southern Nevada manager is putting up some kind of an argument. He doesn't really have much of a point to argue about. The rules are the rules. So now that's resolved. 2 outs. Schaff over at second base. He did advance on the wild pitch with the strikeout to Carl McCullough.
You got it right the first time, Evan.
Thanks, George. Breaking ball, strike 1 to Casey Botanchak, the beer batter. After all that delay, the beer batter's still in play until the 7th inning is finished. So even if he goes down on strikes the first time, that ball spiked in the dirt, gets away from Mazzetti, no throw over the third. So second wild pitch is in, third of the game from Finnell, puts Schaff over at third base with 2 outs.
It's going to be a very big at-bat for Brett Finnell on the mound, as Southern Nevada looking to cut the lead in half. However, the Power don't want that to happen.
Finnell and Mazzetti need to be careful, because another ball in the dirt could lead to the first run of the night for Southern Nevada. Finnell's only allowed 2 hits so far. That breaking ball's on the ground. Berkey up with it. Throws on the run. In time over to Blythe, and that retires the side. So a run, a couple wild pitches, a discussion from the umpires leads to no score for Southern Nevada. So we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Brett Finnell has worked 5 shutout innings so far. Except for the bottom of the 5th inning, runs have been tough to come by for both teams. Hits have also been tough to come by. Power lead 2-0. Both those 2 runs coming in the first. Power put up 3 hits in the inning, took advantage of a wild pitch, put up those couple of runs. It'll be Blythe, Emmanuel Dean, Evan Berkey, and Joey Mazzetti. This is the part of the order to try and do some damage. Noah Blythe, mentioned earlier, the Power's leading hitter. Lined out to second in the first inning, grounded out to short in the second, so he's 0 for 2. First pitch outside, ball 1. Austin Reilly beginning his 5th inning of work, scattering just 4 hits, the 2 runs in the first. Seems like almost every game we're saying multi-hits in the game for Noah Blythe. Not the case so far, as he's 0 for 2 to get the night started. Here's the 1-1. Low and in the dirt, 2-1.
Blythe leads the team with 20 hits on the season. Certainly one of those guys you love to have on your team, especially batting in that 3-hole spot. bringing in some runs as well.
Swing and a miss, 2-2. Now, I tell you, George, if Blythe is able to get a hold of one and get it into the outfield, all three outfielders are playing way too shallow for a guy like Blythe up at the plate. Blythe has 6 doubles so far this season. Here's the 2-2 breaking ball. A little outside, 3-2. That's a few breaking balls that Reilly's tried to locate on the outer half to right-handed batters. He has not gotten the call. Some Southern Nevada fans have voiced their ire. The full count. That's on the ground at third base. Backhanded by Bochinchak. Throw across the diamond and hang onto the bag as Hunter Katchke for the first out.
Very good extension by Katchke over at first base. Able to extend the arm, reach out a little bit, all while staying on the bag. Very difficult thing to do, and he was able to manage it for the first out.
Big first out for Southern Nevada. That'll bring Emmanuel Dean up to the plate. Emmanuel Dean, he's been the big offense so far tonight. The 2 RBI single in the first inning, and that's where we stand. Grounded out to third in the third inning. He's 1 for 2. Just 4 hits so far for the Power, 2 hits for Southern Nevada. 1-0 the count to Dean. Big swing and a miss, 1-1. Looked like one of the better pitches to hit so far for the Power, especially since that first inning. And George, tomorrow's a big night. We got Micromania, 5 o'clock first pitch.
It's an early game as well, so it's going to be a fun night all around here at Palm Springs Stadium.
A lot of buzz, especially from the front office, anticipation for tomorrow night's throwdown that'll occur right on home plate immediately after the game. 3-1 the count. Reilly tried another breaking ball and he couldn't get it to come back on the outer half. So a chance for Dean here to try and get on base. Ahead in the count, 3 balls, 1 strike. Swing and a miss, 3-2. Fastball at the knees. Had Dean off balance.
Few of those pitches way outside and upstairs. And then Reilly just going right inside the strike zone and down low. So he's really working all parts of the strike zone right now, having everybody in this Power team guessing where he's going to be throwing next.
3-2. Little inside, ball 4. Dean draws a walk and gives the Power a 1-out base runner. Power will gladly take it.
6th walk for Austin Reilly here in the ballgame. Now the Power just going to have to produce now some runs and get themselves into scoring position and give them a comfortable lead.
Only 1 hit for the Power since that first inning. They have left some men on base due to the walks. Ooh, flinching was the home plate umpire. Calls it a ball to Evan Berkey. Berkey, the shortstop tonight, reached on a fielder's choice in the first, singled in the third. Southern Nevada looking to turn 2 with 1 out. Short lead from Dean at first. That ball's lined in the left field. That's going to drop in for a base hit in front of Sam Lucas. Stopping at second is Emmanuel Dean. Second hit of the night for Evan Berkey. He's 2 for 3, and the Power are back in business with men on first and second. This is the guy you want up right here.
I was just going to say that, Evan. He already has 15 RBIs on the season. He leads the team with runs batted in, so no better position here for Palm Springs if they want to extend their lead.
Seems like every time the Power have needed a big hit, it's been Mazzetti at the plate, and it seems like he's delivered more often than not. Well, the meeting on the mound. Mazzetti singled in the first, walked in the third, so he's 1 for 1. It's the conclusion of this meeting. Not sure yet if we'll see a pitching change. We do have somebody warming up in the Southern Nevada bullpen. It's a good music choice they picked right there, George. And it looks like Southern Nevada will stick with Austin Reilly. with 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Runners on first and second.
Okay, you don't have to announce it, but I'm playing just so he has music to get.
And now Joey Mazzetti is set. Try and add on for the power, maybe try and break this game open. Right fielder Gavin Mansell playing way over towards the right center field alley. Everyone else looks straight up. Wow. Manuel Dean, he was halfway to third base, shuffling out there. Reilly stepped off.
And this is the tricky position if you're Austin Reilly, but very good position, though, for Emmanuel Dean. His back is to him. He's not going to be able to see if he can steal third. It might be what the Power are going to want to do here.
That ball's ripped through the middle for a base hit. Dean rounding third. He's going to score. Just like that, the team leader in RBIs, Joey Mazzetti, comes up big again with his second hit of the night. 16th RBI of the season. The Power lead 3-0.
Great position there from Joey Mazzetti. Put that right up through the gap. Able to keep it on the ground as well. There's a very solid hit for Joey Mazzetti. His 12th hit of the season, his 13th hit of the season comes in good timing.
And it looks like that'll be it for Austin Reilly. After the first meeting on the mound, manager elected to give him one more batter to face. Mazzetti came up with that big hit through the middle. We'll be back with a new pitcher. New pitcher on the mound for Southern Nevada. Night is over for Austin Reilly, but the first 4 in the 3rd innings. Allowed 3 earned runs so far, scattered 6 hits, 6 walks. Both runners on first and second will be his responsibility. And the new pitcher, number 27, Christian Deichmann. Right-handed pitcher, trying to limit the damage. Power have already scored 1 run this inning. That brings up new guy, Brock Mortensen. Struck out in the first, hit into a 4.63 double play in the 3rd. Mortensen had a great season over at Cuesta College. Hit .296 in 61 games, 15 home runs, 52 RBIs. So that one's hit foul. Look out by the Southern Nevada dugout.
Quick 0-2 count for Mortensen as he's looking to get his first base hit of the season with the Power. In his season debut here, he struck out and grounded out to a double play as well.
Here's the 0-2. In the air, left side, over the foul territory. Bochinchak goes back, he has room, and he's not able to get it. A lot of room down the line Although he got to the spot, just wasn't able to turn around, and ball just hit off his glove. We'll see what they score that play, whether it's an error or a no play. New life regardless for Brock Mortensen with a 0-2 count.
Looked like it just hit off the palm of the glove there from Schaff.
Power and Mortensen will take that break either way. Here's the 0-2. Just outside 1 and 2. Home plate umpire gave a long look at that one, called to the ball. And it looks like that will go down as an error on the third baseman, Casey Bochinchak. So first error of the night for Southern Nevada. Both teams with 1 error apiece. The 1-2. That ball's hit way up there to center field. McCullough comes sprinting in, and he's going to put it away. So Mortensen's now 0 for 3. There's 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th. That'll bring up Anthony Angel Jr., the 8th batter in the order for the Power. Struck out in the 2nd, walked in the 4th. That'll be a good time for Anthony Angel Jr. to pick up another RBI. Try and make it a 4-0 lead for the Power, who have scored 1 so far this inning. Now it's been on 1st and 2nd with 2 outs.
Very big gap between Bochinchak and Schaff over on 3rd and short, as they're trying to hold Berkey up over on 2nd, who has a pretty decent sized lead.
That ball's hit pretty hard out to right field. Over is Manziel. Can he get it? It's going to be over his head and up against the wall. Crossing the play is Berkey. Here comes Mazzetti. He'll score from 1st. Going to 3rd and sliding in safely is Anthony Angel Jr. Anthony Angel Jr. has broken it open with a big 2-run triple into the right field corner. It's 5-0 Power.
Nelson Diaz. New guy, 16, second baseman.
Beautiful hit there. Anthony Angel Jr. got that into opposite field over the head of Manziel, and it bounced off the wall as well. And Anthony Angel Jr. kept the wheels moving, rounding 1st, rounding 2nd, didn't stop, and was held up over at 3rd. Puts him in great scoring position now.
8th and 9th RBIs of the season for Angel Jr. First triple of the year. 2nd extra base hit total on the season for Angel Jr. Now bring up Nelson Padilla, the 9th hole hitter. Walked in the 2nd, struck out in the 4th. With Angel Jr. over at 3rd base. So that completes the line for Austin Reilly. That pitch way outside 2-0. So now officially 5 earned runs allowed in 4 1/3 innings of work for Reilly. Leaving 2 inherited runners for Christian Deichmann to try and deal with. Here's the 2-0. Hit hard foul down the right field line. Already seen some good swings from the power hitters against the reliever Deichmann. 2-1 the count.
A little early of a swing there from Nelson Padilla, as he's looking to do what Anthony Angel Jr. did and go opposite fields, as there is a pretty big gap between Manziel and that right field foul line.
Strike 2 on the outside corner. It evens the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. No action in the Power bullpen, so it'll be Brett Finnell coming back out for the 6th inning. 5-0 lead, too, has got to really make him feel good. Outside 3-2. Three hits in the inning so far for the Power. Blythe ground out to 3rd to start it. A walk to Dean. Berkey singled. Mazzetti singled. He had the pitching change. Fly out to center. Then the triple from Angel Jr. So it really broke it open. 3-2 the count to Padilla. First base is open for what it's worth, but you don't really want to give Torrey Sweet a chance with men on 1st and 3rd. Torrey Sweet waits on deck. And a long look in from Deichmann. The 3-2. Swung on and missed. Padilla went after a high fastball, and that finally retires the side. But the Power put up 3 runs in the bottom of the 5th inning. The big blow coming from the big 2 RBI triple into the right field corner by Anthony Angel Jr. And so we'll go to the top of the 6th inning. Brett Finnell already back out there. He's ready to go. Brett Finnell back out there on the mound. Gets set for the top of the 6th inning. My man George Hathaway to my right, still enjoying the music tonight, Hispanic Heritage Night here at the ballpark. It'll be Hunter Katchke to get things started. The first baseman, he grounded out to short in the first, struck out in the 3rd. Brett Finnell trying to pick up another shutdown inning. The first would swing out in front of the plate. Finnell picked it up over the first. One of those called foul at the plate. Did not see a signal from the home plate umpire, but I guess it's going to be called a foul ball. Well, no one signaled anything. Looks like now the home plate umpire finally called it foul. No signal from the first base umpire, as Finnell did just toss it over to Blythe just in case. So a couple interesting conversations between players and umpires, and both umpires.
I think Katchke was also making a case that he got hit as well. He rolled up that left pant leg there, trying to show home plate umpire possibly where the ball got him.
Doesn't happen often, George, in my opinion, where a batter just chooses not to run after hitting the ball. So usually that would mean it did hit his foot. And not swinging on that breaking ball check swing is Katchke, so a ball and 2 strikes. Finnell going back to the curveball, trying to get the punch out. Not able to that time, but still 1-2. 1-2, another breaking ball on the ground. Berkey, another chance once again over the first. Good looking arm, 1 out.
He's been very busy over at short. It's the 3rd time we've seen him have some action over there.
He's been good. That'll bring up Ethan Stevens. His 3rd plate appearances. Yeah, Berkey's been really smooth over there. Besides the 1 error, he looks like he knows what he's doing, to say the least.
Took that ball, 1-2 hop stride on it as well, and got it over to first as a laser.
That fastball outside, a ball, no strikes. Stevens walked in the 2nd, grounded out to second base in the 4th. So he's 0 for 1. That last fastball, 91 miles per hour from Brett Finnell. The hardest fastball he's thrown tonight. 2-0 the count. 1 out, top of the 6th, nobody on base. Power lead 5-0. Scored 2 runs in the 1st. Were quiet for a little bit, then a 3-run outburst in their half of the 5th. That's where we stand. Brett Finnell's only allowed a couple of hits so far. Not many opportunities for Southern Nevada. But Stevens does draw a 4-pitch walk, so a 1-out base runner.
Brett Finnell was really trying to work that bottom half of the strike zone there and just could not get the call. And as you can tell from the body language from him on the mounds that he was looking for one of those to being called a strike because they were very close, painting the corners there, bottom half.
Third walk issued so far by Finnell. Gives the Southern Nevada a man at first with 1 out. Good-looking breaking ball, just misses though for ball 1. Finnell wanted that pitch, didn't get it. Dominic Tavares, the batter, ground out to short in the second, hit by a pitch in the 4th. Breaking ball still been sitting about 77 to 79 miles per hour. Another breaking ball, strike 1. Power looking to turn 2.
Finnell really working that breaking ball in the strike zone. Finally found the rhythm there with that pitch.
This could be 2. Softly out to short, to second for 1, over the first! Out is the call over at first base. Had to wait just a moment for the confirmation. Good turn by the Power. 6-4-3, Berkey to Padilla to Noah Blythe. That retires the side. No runs, no hits, nobody left for Southern Nevada. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Power lead 5-0. Torrey Sweet, Isaiah Alvarez, Noah Blythe, the top of the order, due up for the Power. Christian Deichmann back on the mound for Southern Nevada. He came on in the 5th in relief for Austin Reilly. With 1 out and men on first and second. Was able to get Mortensen to pop out to center, his first at bat, then allowed the 2-run triple to Anthony Angel Jr. So now we'll start a fresh inning with nobody on base here, dealing with Torrey Sweet. He was 1 for 2 so far, singled and scored in the first, walked in the second, struck out in the 4th. Outfielders have played relatively shallow all night for Southern Nevada. Sets it out to right field, down the line, it's going to be trouble! And it drops just foul. Just foul, that was close to the line. Sweet was all around first, already going to second if that ball were fair, but instead it's going to be an 0-2 count. Game of inches, George, I tell you what.
It really is. I mean, that just hit the white line over there in right field. Very similar situation we saw with Anthony Angel Jr. Relatively the same position as well. Opposite field. Just got through from Mansell because he has a lot of room to work with over there between him and that right field line.
Here's the 0-2. Inside half. Called ball 1. Wonder if Torrey Sweet thought that ball might have grazed his elbow guy. He had a few words to say to the home plate umpire. Nonetheless, a ball and 2 strikes. Deichmann dealing to Sweet. On the outside corner, right there, called strike 3. Sweet knew it. And there's one away. Second strikeout of the night for Christian Deichmann on the mound. So that brings up Isaiah Alvarez. He's gone down swinging a couple times tonight, walked and scored in the first, so he's 0 for 2. Power looking to add on to their 5-run lead. No action in either bullpen, so likely see Brett Finnell come back out for the 7th.
Power got the insurance runs that they needed here in the bottom of the 5th inning with that triple there from Anthony Angel Jr. And the Power now have a very big 5-0 lead. And with the pitching that Brett Finnell has been doing, it's been helping them out even more.
2-1 the count to Isaiah Alvarez. Playing left field tonight. We've also seen him play a couple games in center field. Coming off a national championship tournament appearance. Division 2 with Point Loma. He laces that ball in the right field. That's in for a base hit. First hit of the night for Isaiah Alvarez. 8th hit of the night for the Power, and they have a 1-out base runner.
It's Alvarez's 3rd hit on the season. And he's been very productive for Palm Springs. Starting things out here with 1 out. Trying to regain that momentum with Noah Blythe at the plate and Emmanuel Dean on deck. It's a very strong top of the order for Palm Springs.
Noah Blythe 0 for 3 so far tonight. Grounded out to third his last at bat in the 5th. Before the 3-run rally by the Power. We take strike 1 in the outer half. Wonderful to see Alvarez take off from first base. He leads the team in stolen bases with 7. This only being his 6th game of the season. Inching off first base. He started then stopped. That's taken outside 1-1 to Blythe.
Isaiah Alvarez has 7 stolen bases on the season, Evan. I mean, one of those guys that you have to look out for because he'll be quick to go steal on you.
Alvarez does not go. That's hit foul into the screen, 1-2. Southern Nevada will look to turn 2 with 1 out and a man at first base. Sam Lucas in left field, playing a little bit deeper than he has for most of the night. He's the deepest right now in left. McCollin center, playing relatively shallow compared to other center fielders when Blythe is up. Mansell over in right, playing medium deep depth. There goes Alvarez, taken outside, throw down to second. Not in time, it's off the glove of Schaff. There goes Alvarez to third, and he'll get in there standing up. 8th stolen base of the season for Isaiah Alvarez. He'll advance to third. There will be an error charged to somebody. We'll see who. Really good heads-up base running to see that ball in center field in advance.
And nobody over there to cover behind and back up. Schaff over on short, who was covering second on that play. And that's why you always have to make sure you back up for situations like that. You don't want to get it out deep in the center field where McClough had to go get it.
So that'll bring the Southern Nevada infield all the way in. They already trail 5-0. Blythe sprays that one foul. Still 2-2 on Blythe with 1 out. The infield drawn in, 1 out in the bottom of the 6th. Power looking to add on a 6th run. Off speed pitch outside 3-2.
Good eye there from Noah Blythe, who looking to get on base here in the ball game.
Christian Deichmann on the mound. His fastball's been 83, 84 so far tonight, featuring a changeup 72 to 74 miles per hour. That's taken just outside ball 4.
As that is going to be an error on Stevens. That throw over to Schaff as Isaiah Alvarez is going to go steal was way out in front of him, nowhere near on target. And so that's why it does go to the catcher.
The right fielder, number 36, Emmanuel.
So runners on 1st and 3rd with 1 out, brings up Emmanuel Dean. 2-run single back in the 1st inning, walked and scored in the 5th. So he's 1 for 2. Chance for his 3rd RBI of the night, with Alvarez over at 3rd, Blythe on 1st. First pitch swinging, comes up empty, strike 1. Big swing right there from Emmanuel Dean. Wonder if he had 8-0 on his mind.
Dean already with a base hit on the day as he ripped that one right past Bochenjak over on 3rd. Came off the bat at 87 miles an hour.
0-1 late swing, fouled off to the right side, 0-2 the count. We have not seen a home run from a power hitter so far this season, George. Something that'd be really cool to see. It is a big ballpark. Ball travels much better during the day, as we've seen during the PSCL games in the morning and early afternoon. Especially the breeze often picks up a little more at night. Blythe inches off of 1st. The 0-2 way outside, ball 1. Deichmann's been able to work ahead a couple times this inning, has had a tough time trying to put the batters away. He has another chance here, a ball, 2 strikes to Emmanuel Dean. One, 2, upstairs, ball 2. Middle infielders Schaff and Tavares playing back to try and turn a double play. Casey Bochenjak, the 3rd baseman, playing a couple steps behind the 3rd base bag. Hunter Catchy holding on Noah Blythe over at 1st. The 2-2. Check swing. Called a ball. And a check, no swing, says the field umpire, 3-2. So after falling behind 0-2 in the count, Emmanuel Dean's worked it back to a full count.
And that's how you fight. Emmanuel Dean in his last at-bat in the bottom of the 5th inning walked. So he's definitely very disciplined at the plate, knowing when the right pitch is coming right towards him.
Here's the 3-2. That ball's popped up a mile high, right side foul territory. Katchke over, and he puts it away for the 2nd out. Runners cannot advance. So a big 2nd out there for Southern Nevada. So I'll bring up Evan Berkey.
The shortstop, number 24, Evan Berkey.
Berkey reached on a fielder's choice in the 1st, singled in the 3rd, singled in the 5th, and scored. He's 2 for 3.
Very strong season debut for Evan Berkey, as he's coming in here to Palm Springs with something to prove.
Chance for a 2-out RBI. Inside ball 1. Trying to pick up Emmanuel Dean. Popped out to 1st base with runners on 1st and 3rd with 1 out. Short lead at 1st for Blythe. Up and in 2-0. George, what's the approach here for Berkey? Head 2-0 in the count.
We've seen 2 straight pitches up high and inside. Wouldn't be surprised if we see a pitch like that again, or we're going down low.
Here's the 2-0. Try the breaking ball on the outside corner. According to the home plate umpire, 2-1. Big first strike there for Christian Deichmann. I don't think Berkey liked that strike call too much.
I think Stevens did a good job framing behind the plate. where he was able to kind of pull that ball that was down low and away. Very similar again, same pitch with that breaking ball, outside and away, but Stevens pulling it right back inside.
Make my younger brother really happy, George. Remembering to give credit to the catcher. I like it. My younger brother occasionally got frustrated. He always thought too much credit went to the pitcher. Go, hey, what about me? I'm calling the game.
And
there goes Blythe, 2-2. That pitch up the middle. Ball dies in the middle infield over the first. And safe is the call over at first base. A hustle single for Evan Berkey. Isaiah Alvarez crosses the plate to lead for the 6th run of the game for the Power. 3 hits in his debut for Evan Berkey.
And speaking of complimenting catchers, Evan, Joey Mazzetti, he's done a phenomenal job for Palm Springs behind the plate today. A guy who we've seen do it all, pitch a little bit, been designated hitter as well, and played third base. I mean, he's been everywhere on the field.
Mazzetti with 2 hits tonight, walked in the 3rd, singled in the 1st run of that 3-run 5th inning. He'll now bat again with men on 1st and 2nd, 2 outs. Possible nightmare scenario for Southern Nevada. Big hit here could all but end the ball game. Outside ball 1. Almost sounded like Evan Berkey broke his bat on that infield hit.
Probably splinted it a little bit where it didn't just break in half. It was a small break there. It definitely sounded like one.
Speed kills. Here's the 1-0. Outside again, 2-0. Brock Mortensen waits on deck, also making his Power debut. Good lead from 2nd for Blythe. Frankly, he's almost halfway to third base by the time the pitch is delivered. 3-0 the count. So are you green-lighting Mazzetti here, George?
I would, especially being up in the count 3-0. If it's inside the strike zone, might as well take a hack at it, but anywhere outside, or even down low, because that's what we seen Deichmann do a lot, is go down and away.
Look like Mazzetti did have a green light, but he takes on the outside corner, strike 1. He looked ready to hit, though, I tell you what.
That ball just a little bit outside his comfort zone. He likes it up high inside as well.
Oh, Blythe might have just got himself picked off, and he's out at 2nd base. He was starting over towards 3rd, and he gets picked off over at 2nd to end the inning. What's going on over here? Home plate umpires talking to the pitcher, Kristen Deichmann. Blythe was called out at 2nd. Looks like a balk was called. So I guess Deichmann ended up flinching as he came set and was going to step up to try and pick off Noah Blythe. Looks like that is the official call. So, big break for the Power. Southern Nevada fans and their bench infuriated over the call. So that puts men on 2nd and 3rd. Both runners advance on the balk. The count still stands at 3-1 to Joey Mazzetti. As he has new life, a chance for 2 RBIs now. George Noah Blythe got big sigh of relief.
It really is. Got a little bit of life there now for the Power. 2 runners in scoring position. The leadoff man, Joey Mazzetti, leads the team in RBIs. No better position to put them in if they want to add on to their 6-run lead here.
The 3-2. Down the right field line, that'll get out of play. Mazzetti stays alive. First base is open for what it's worth. Brock Mortensen's 0 for 3 so far tonight as he waits on deck. A couple new baseballs now in play. We'll do it again. Kristen Deichmann, he's allowed 1 run already here in the 6th. Coming on the RBI infield hit from Evan Berkey, plating Isaiah Alvarez. Alvarez stole 2nd, advanced to 3rd on the throwing error by Ethan Stevens. Here's the 3-2. Way outside, ball 4. That'll load the bases.
This would be great opportunity for Brock Mortensen. Hasn't gotten a hit all day. Looking to get his first hit of the season for Palm Springs as well. Bases loaded with 2 outs. And the Power also have that momentum, especially after that balk call from the home plate umpire. As the tide is in their favor.
Power able to keep the inning alive. Southern Nevada thought they had Noah Blythe picked off at second base. Advanced him to third. And Berkey the second. That ball is hit a mile high in the infield. Schaff makes the call, and he puts it away. So the Power able to put 1 run across the plate on the 3rd hit of the night from Evan Berkey. But they strand the bases loaded. We'll go to the 7th inning. Power leads 6-0.
Welcome back to historic Palm Springs Stadium. George Hathaway alongside with me. Evan Schmeiser here on the call. Parker Vint going to lead things off here, top of the 7th inning. And as a Power, they are up 6-0 here in the ball game. Vint looking to get his first base hit. He walked in the 2nd, struck out in the 4th. Is that pitch going to get inside? 0-1 the count. 8 strikeouts for Brett Finnell on the evening. Looking to add on to that here as he leads the team in strikeouts.
Already a good start for Finnell so far in the 7th. Didn't get the pitch right there. He wanted it as the count moves to 1-1. But long rest time once again with the Power up to bat. And it's good to see he looks sharp coming into the 7th inning.
1-2 count for Vint. Designated hitter for Southern Nevada. On deck. And that's going to be upstairs, 2-2 the count.
George, our marketing director, Noah Fish, just made an announcement between innings to hype up professional wrestlers coming in to throw down tomorrow after the game. Crowd went absolutely wild hearing that news.
Full count now for Parker Vint. Matt Seibold on deck. Full count. Here's the pitch. Can be chopped right up through the middle for a base hit. The 3rd hit of the evening for Southern Nevada.
Wasn't a bad pitch from Finnell there by any means. He tried to run a breaking ball back along the inner half. Maybe left a little bit further up in the strikes than they would have wanted. Vint didn't hit it all that hard, but he chose a good spot right through the middle.
So Matt Seinbold going to be pinch hitting for Gavin Manziel, who went 0 for 2 and struck out twice in his tenure. No outs, 1 runner on. Here's a pitch from Finnell, going to get inside. 0-1 the count. 1 runner on. Here, top of the 7th inning. Palm Springs Power up 6-0 over Southern Nevada.
You know, George, I do not envy the position of Matt Seibold coming in cold off the bench. Having to face Brett Finnell, who's pumping fastballs, hitting 90, 91 miles per hour, and he's been second start in a row, close to unhittable.
Oh, yeah.
0-2 count quickly for Seinbold. No outs, 1 runner on. Here's the 0-2 pitch, and swinging is Matt Seinbold for strikeout number 9 for Brett Finnell, which now brings up Jason Schaff to the plate. He's 1 for 2 on the evening. Had a base hit in the 5th inning, struck out in the 2nd.
Brett Finnell's not messing around. He knows somebody's coming in off the bench cold. Just went 3 straight fastballs in the strike zone. Seibold came up empty.
1 out, 1 runner on for Southern Nevada. Here's a pitch from Finnell. Curveball upstairs, 1-0. On deck, it's Taylor Darden. 2-0 count for Jason Schaff. He's playing over at short.
I'm almost thinking about taking all the way here if I'm Schaff in Southern Nevada. Usually I wouldn't say it on a 2-0 count, but you're down 6 runs, you need base runners.
2-0 is going to be fouled back. Just got underneath the ball. Backspin had it flying back behind home plate.
Well, they didn't take my advice that time, George. That pitch might have been a strike called either way.
2-1 is the count for Jason Schaff with Taylor Darden on deck.
Another close pitch there along the outer half. We've seen a couple times this inning, Finnell has not agreed with the home plate umpire. A couple close pitches called for balls.
Eric Marujo, he's going to be in the bullpen for the Palm Springs Power, as that's going to be a breaking ball, swing and a miss. 3-2 is the count for Schaff.
If I'm Brett Finnell right here, I'm just aiming right down the middle with another 90, 91 mile per hour fastball. That last one came in 92. Finnell appears to be getting stronger as the night moves on. Challenge the hitter, you're up 6 runs.
As that's going to be chopped over the head of Berkey for another base hit for Jason Schaff.
That's exactly what Brett Finnell did right there. He was going to make the batter earn it. So he threw a fastball. He said, here's my best fastball. Go ahead and hit it. And a good swing there by Schaff, depositing that ball in the left field.
Taylor Darden, the lefty, he's at the plate. First time we're going to see him. He's pinch hitting for Sam Lucas, who struck out twice. 9 strikeouts on the day for Brett Finnell. With 1 out, here's the pitch. Going to be way outside, 1-0.
Finnell might have just overthrown that fastball a little bit, missing to his arm side way outside. He's still been solid so far, but it can be a little bit frustrating. You allow a base hit, wasn't all that hard. Couple pitches didn't go your way, and then you allow the sharp base hit on the full count.
2-0 is the count for Darden. From Incarnate Wood.
San Antonio, it's my neck of the woods.
6 foot, here's a 2-0 pitch. Breaking ball downstairs, 3-0 for Darden.
I almost wonder if now would be a good time for Mazzetti. Maybe take a trip out to the mound, just try and settle his big pitcher down. Breaking ball in the outer half, another pitch that Finnell wanted and didn't get the call.
Marujo in the bullpen. Curveball out and away. 4-pitch walk for Taylor Darden. Looks
Interesting
like
to see.
we are going to have a mound meeting.
They went with a breaking ball too on the 3-0 count. It looks like they're just going to talk things over. I don't think they're going to take Brett Finnell out of the game quite yet.
1 out, bases loaded here for Southern Nevada. We're down 6 runs here against Palm Springs. There's Parker Vint over on third, Jason Schaff on second, Taylor Darden on first. As Finnell staying out there after the mound meeting. 1 out, bases loaded for Southern Nevada here top of the 7th inning.
Interesting to see right here. Noah Blythe is playing way in on the grass with the bases loaded, even though power up 6 runs. Could possibly create a little more room for Carl McCullough to try and shoot the ball through the right side.
McCullough looking for his first base hit. 2-0 count for him. He flew out over to Sweet in center field, advanced on an error, and then struck out in the 5th.
I also wonder if fatigue might be starting to set in just a little bit. So far, Finnell's gone 6 1/3 innings, the longest outing he's had so far.
Everybody clap your hands.
Fastball going to get inside for strike 1.
Previous outing, he went 6 innings. That was the longest he's gone so far this season until tonight.
2-1. Going to be breaking ball down low. 3-1 count for Carl McCall as Mazzetti going to talk things over with Finnell.
And it's good to see Mazzetti taking this mound meeting now. Finnell looked absolutely enraged he didn't get that call on the fastball. Could be a good way to settle your pitcher down. Back when I used to pitch a little bit, I had terrible command. Sometimes my catch would come out and ask me, "What'd you have for dinner last night?"
As that's going to be fouled away. 3-2 the count for the leadoff man for Southern Nevada.
I usually get a good laugh, and then I'd settle down, and then command was still rough, but I'd throw a few more strikes usually after that.
1 out, bases loaded for Southern Nevada. As here's a full count, going to be fouled back. Still going to be 3-2.
This is a big at-bat right here. If Carl McCullough reaches base, then the tying run would end up being on deck. So this is a bat you want to get if you're Brett Finnell.
3-2. Here's a pitch from Finnell.
What?
Breaking ball's going to get
There
a
we
look
are.
in for strike number 3. And that's strikeout number 10 for Brett Finnell on the evening.
And I was waiting to see that strike 3 call. It took a moment. I was about to say, where did that pitch miss? But ultimately, we do get the strike 3 call, rightfully so.
Casey Bochenchak, he's at the plate. This will be his 4th plate appearance of the evening. Has 1 base hit, struck out in the 1st inning, and then grounded out in the 5th.
And George, this is our beer batter. The beer batter goes all the way until the 7th inning, with this being a long inning. One more chance for all the fans to try and win $2 draft beers if Bochenchak can go down on strikes for a 2nd time tonight.
0-1 is the count with 2 outs, bases loaded here for Southern Nevada, top of the 7th inning. Here's a pitch. That's going to get inside. 0-2 the count.
Now the fans could smell it, George.
2 outs, bases loaded for Southern Nevada. Bochenchak at the plate for the 4th time. 1-2 is the count. He already struck out once in the ball game. Had a base hit in the 3rd.
George, that was a nasty breaking ball right there. 81 miles per hour from Finnell. I don't know how Puchenchak laid that off.
Here's a 1-2 from Finnell. Swung on and missed. That's strike number 3. And that's going to retire the side, leaving bases loaded. As that's strikeout number 11 for Brett Finnell.
$2 beers, too, for the next 10 minutes.
And we now go to the bottom of the 7th inning when we return. Palm Springs Power up 6-0. Welcome back. Bottom of the 7th inning. George Hathaway alongside Evan Schmeiser here on the call. Anthony Angel Jr. leading things off for Palm Springs as they are up 6-0 here in the ball game. Anthony Angel Jr. had a 2-run triple in his last plate appearance. That helps the Power out as they scored 3 runs in the 5th inning. 1-0 is the count. Deichmann on the hill. Here's a 1-0 pitch from him upstairs, 2-0. Stevens had to extend the arm there to grab it.
You wonder if Deichmann actually wants any part of Anthony Angel Jr. Those first 2 pitches were not remotely close to the strike zone.
Anthony Angel Jr. struck out in the 2nd inning and walked in the 4th along with his triple. 2-1 is the count for him.
George, I see a whole bunch of fans coming back with their $2 draft beers after the beer batter struck out for the 2nd time tonight in the previous inning.
Anthony Angel Jr. going to pop that one up over to right field. That's going to drop for a base hit. Back-to-back hits for Anthony Angel Jr. And the leadoff man gets on base here for Palm Springs. Which brings up Nelson Padilla to the plate for Palm Springs.
You know, George, when you're going good, you're going good. Last at bat, Anthony Angel Jr. had the big hit of the night, the triple into the right field corner, and then fits that ball in the right field. When you're hot, you get the cheap hits.
Padilla looking for his first base hit of the ball game. He struck out in the 4th and 5th inning and then had it walked in the 2nd as he's going to pop this one up high into the air. And as getting underneath that one is Seinbold for the first out. So with 1 out, we're to the top of the order with Torrey Sweet.
Now batting, number 45, the center fielder, Torrey Sweet.
Torrey Sweet has a base hit, scored a run in the 1st inning, walked in the 2nd, and struck out in the 4th and 6th inning. Here's a pitch from Deichmann. 0-1 is the count for Torrey Sweet, the center fielder this evening for Palm Springs. As they have a 6-0 lead here, bottom of the 7th inning. Anthony Angel Jr., he's on first. Here's the 0-1 from Deichmann. Outside, 1-1.
Wonder what he threw right there. Almost looked like that pitch slipped out of his hand a little bit. Maybe it was a breaking ball?
1-1 the count for Sweet, with 1 out, 1 runner on. Here's a pitch from Deichmann. When he popped up into the air,